Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday, and today we are going to continue learning about angles and the different types of angles that we learned yesterday in our vocabulary lesson. So, today's lesson is going to be all about classifying angles, which means we're just going to recognize angles as either right angles, obtuse angles, or acute angles and a straight angle. So we're going to be looking at right, obtuse, acute, and straight angles. Those four different types. We're going to be able to classify them, which means sort them out, figure out what's what. So yesterday we learned about those angles. We learned about right angles, obtuse, acute, by looking at vocabulary. And remember, right angles are lines that go down and over. They make that box here, and it's 90 degrees. A straight angle is like a straight line that measures 180 degrees. An acute angle is an angle that is less smaller than 90 degrees. Okay. And an obtuse angle is an angle that is a little bit wider than a right angle, and it's larger than both of these. So it's a little bit larger than a right, okay? But it's not necessarily straight. And if you want to learn more about that, if you didn't watch my video yesterday, if you didn't do the vocabulary assignment, I would probably go back because it's going to be a little difficult for you to do this assignment today if you didn't do yesterday's. That's why it's so important that you're here every day and you're checking because there's always something to do. So, to classify angles, we must examine their properties. And when we say properties, we mean the size, the shape, and other features. Okay. Each angle has properties. They all look different, they have different shapes, they have different sizes. Okay. So, um, in every angle that we're going to be looking at, it's going to have what's called two rays. And what a ray is, and it looks like this. A ray is a part of a line that has one end point and extends in one direction. So it's going to have a point like this, and it's going to either go up, down, side, side. It's going to be going somewhere, and you'll see that arrow. These two rays share a common endpoint. This endpoint is known as the vertex. So, yesterday we learned a vocabulary word called a vertex. And that is when we have this point right here, and you see this line right here going down, and this line going down right here. Well, they touch and they share this point. And when they do share that point and when they touch that point right here, that's called a vertex. And then those two lines come down, and those two rays, we don't say lines, we say rays. So this ray and this ray share this point called a vertex. Inside is now created an angle. Okay, let's take a look at this video here.
Hi, Maha. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Between 0 and 90, an angle is acute. This angle small and skinny and kinda cute. It looks like a V or the top of a Y, or the angles that you see eating pizza or pie.
Angles are measured in degrees, and here's how to read
remember them with ease. See, when an angle measures 90, do we call it right? You can tell this angle just by sight. It looks like an L or the corner of a square. You're looking at them when you're walking up the stairs. Angles are measured in degrees, and here's how to remember them with ease. From 90 to 180, an angle is obtuse. This angle's kind of fat, it's got a big caboose. Like the hands on the clock when it's 1:45, or the antlers on the head of a full-grown moose. Angles are measured in degrees, and here's how to remember them with ease.
To measure an angle's degrees with a protractor, place the vertex at the hole in the center. Line up one ray at 0 on the protractor. Remember that the 0 can be on top or under. Count up to where the other ray points at the number. That will be the angle's measure.
Angles are measured in degrees, and here's how to remember them with ease.
All right, so that was a review on obtuse, right, and acute angles. Let's take another look at those. So let's look at right angles. Let's look at some of the properties of a right angle. So a right angle always has two rays. So two rays just means two lines. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's always two rays. A right angle always has a square corner. So when you have that square, if you have a right angle, you should be able to draw a little square in the corner here. So as you can see, these all have squares in the corner, and they all measure exactly 90 degrees. So it basically looks like a letter L, right? So you see that letter L here. It's like an L backwards, an L upside down. Kind of looks like that. So if it looks like a letter L and you can make a box with two rays, that square corner, it's a right angle, and it measures 90 degrees. Let's look at acute angles. An acute angle has, again, two rays. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. The angle is smaller than a right angle. So if it's smaller, right angles measure 90 degrees. So acute angles have to be less than 90 in order for them to be acute. So 67 is less than 90, 12 is less than 90, 54 is less than 90, 62 is less than 90, 48 is less than 90, and 71 is less than 90. So all of these acute angles are smaller than 90 degrees. They are smaller than a right angle. All right. And let's look at obtuse angles. Okay. Obtuse angles, again, have two rays. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Obtuse angles are larger or greater than a right angle, and they measure more than 90 degrees. So the difference between acute and obtuse, acute angles are smaller. They measure less than 90. So they are less than a right angle. They are less than 90, all of these numbers. Obtuse angles are greater. They are more than 90 degrees. So they are larger than a right angle. They are bigger. 135 is more, 135 is greater or more than 90. 160 is greater than 90, and 91 is a little bit greater than 90. It almost looks like a right angle, but it's not. It's 1 degree more, so this becomes obtuse. All right. And let's take a look at straight angles. Straight angles, again, have two rays because look at this point right here. We have the vertex in the middle, one line going this way, another line going this way, and they touch with this vertex point, okay? Again, the vertex would be in the center here for obtuse angles as well. Line going this way, line going that way, okay? Those are the rays. Sorry, I keep saying lines, but it should be rays. So you have your point, one ray, two ray. Straight angles are larger than right and obtuse angles. It's larger than a right angle because they measure at 180 degrees. Right angles are 90, straight angles are 180, so they're larger. And then obtuse angles, all of these numbers, 180 is larger. Okay, so this is the greatest number here that we've learned so far when we're talking about angles. So straight angles always measure 180 degrees. So now it's your turn. Okay, so what you're going to do today for your assignment is you're going to complete this slide here. You're going to complete slide 13. And how you're going to do that is you are going to drag each and every one of these angles to the correct place. So one has been done for you. These are all examples. Okay. This is what a right angle looks like. This is what an acute angle looks like. This is what an obtuse angle looks like. And this is what a straight angle looks like. So by looking at what these look like, you're going to go to each one of these boxes. Does this angle look right, acute, obtuse, or straight? If you think it looks right, you're going to put it in the right column. If you think it looks acute, you're going to put it in the acute column. If you think it looks obtuse, you're going to put it in the obtuse column. And if you think it is straight, you're going to put it in the straight column. If you're unsure, what I would do is I would put it in the middle and I would say, does this look exactly like this? Yes or no? Does this look exactly like this? Yes or no? Does this look exactly like this? Yes or no? Or does this look exactly like this? Yes or no? And whichever one you think yes, you're going to put it in your column. Okay? Same thing with these ones, okay? Your angle's either going to look like an L shape, it's going to look like a small V shape, which is acute. If it's an L shape, it's a right angle. If it's a small V with that tiny, tiny less than 90 degree angle, it's acute. If it's wider, if it's larger, okay, it's going to be obtuse. If it's coming out wider or larger, if you see that big space in the middle, it's obtuse. And then if you have a straight line, it's a straight angle. All right. So again, another simple task today, another easy assignment. Please let me know if you need help. And make sure to comment or submit when you're finished so I know when I can go in and check and see how you did.